this is a special place for people with disabilities. Everybody's so friendly here. I just can't believe a place like this.
I just suppose I just want to be like everyone else, really. I really especially hate being singled out just because, you know, I have autism.
I love this place so much, like feeding the animals and working and gardening, and of course my friends.
I like the animals, and if you're down you could go to the animals and give them hugs and they cheer you up, and you could feed them and look after them.
Cantraybridge began 20 years ago when we took over 20 acres of a local estate, and it was full of disused farm buildings, and we thought we would turn it into a college for young people with learning disabilities. The reason why that was important was because long-stay hospitals for people with learning disabilities had just closed, and we knew that people with disabilities could achieve more if they were only given the chance to. So we were built really on an ethos of believing in young people's abilities, believing that they should be a part of the workforce and an integrated member of society. But we also knew that to do that we needed to do it in a specialised or a specialist way. So over the next 20 years we developed our departmental structure, farming, animal rearing, horticulture, woodwork. In the past couple of years we've redeveloped our estate so that our facilities are suitable for learning, teaching and so on. And it's really that founding vision, that ethos that drives us still towards the next 20 years. Because although we've made many gains for young people with learning disabilities, they're still excluded from the labour market. Mainstream education, it doesn't quite meet everybody's needs, so we have a much more personalised approach. And I think for me that's the most important thing about what happens at Cantraybridge. There's a charm, there's an energy, there's a very strong work ethic among the students and the staff team. That's what we're trying to continue to foster, but with slightly better facilities, slightly better environment, fit for purpose, fit for the activities that we're doing now.
Prior to a student coming permanently with a place at Cantraybridge, we offer tours, we offer visits. Students will come for a taster day where they can try out the different departments, get a feel of what they want to do. Really the students choose their own departments, it's their interest, so we try our best to facilitate that. While they're here, the students can have a range of qualifications that they can gain. Our main aim is to get the young people that come through the college to try and have them into paid employment, which is the ultimate goal. We have a really effective transition department here at the college where our transition worker will work closely with the students. They will have placements, work experience, voluntary positions. We have a 10-week work skills course for the students that are due to leave the college where they interview employers. They will go around different places and get the feel of their chosen vocation, what they want to do. The development, the personal development of the students from arriving at Cantraybridge to when it's time to leave is absolutely tremendous. Often we get very quiet, very reserved, sometimes anxious young people that have not experienced being in such a busy social environment. Their social lives develop tremendously, and I just think overall it's a place where young people can be themselves. They can be supported by peers, gain great social skills and a great social life, and then hopefully go on to living a fulfilling life the same as everybody else.
Tell me, John, what makes Cantraybridge special? Or who makes Cantraybridge special? Is that a better question?
I think all the students do, and I think this is a special place for people with disabilities, and you know, it's so welcomed and everybody's so laid back and everybody's so friendly here. I just can't believe a place like this is, you know, a friendly place. You never get a place like this. It's a special place in my heart, really.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How important do you think it is for young people with learning disabilities to speak out?
It's very important because they won't achieve anything in life if they don't speak about it. And I think it's important. It's their choice, what they want to do in life. And this is the best place to do it at. And you know, gaining the experience and doing all these rural skills that we do, and then moving, you know, going on to live here at residential. And
What's that like? What was that like when you first moved here?
I was a bit nervous at first.
I would imagine, like, moving to a new place and not knowing people. Although, I remember the day you got told you moved here and you were, like, so, like, in the corner of the square by the laundry, and you were just like, I'm getting to move in! You were so excited and getting your own place.
Yeah, been waiting for this for a very long time. And then now look at me, so it's really built up my confidence and, you know, learning these independent living skills and because I wouldn't be able to do that at first, but you know, getting this opportunity. If I would have been still living at home, I would never get the chance to do all these things. So learn how to do your own shopping as well is amazing.
Yeah. Being in control.
Being in control and money and independent travelling, which I do a lot now by myself. And I used to be so nervous. But
you were nervous when you first started, were you?
Yes. But now, I travel everywhere. So SDS is a lump of money, and we look at different services in Highland to see what people can achieve from it and how they're going to spend their money. So it's their own choice.
Yep.
What they want to do with their money, basically. And doing the service evaluation with them to see what's in their community and what's not in their community. So looking at things, what they can do and what things out there there's not for them.
What are your ambitions when you leave college?
I'm hoping to get a flat in Nairn, be on this transition programme. So that's the next steps.
And how important would it be for you to get a job?
I would love to work with young people with disabilities.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
For a proper job. Hello Laura, I'm John. I will indeed help you. Because I used to do that. I used to work with elderly as well. So, because I'm getting all these skills from SDS and improving people's lives with disabilities, and I've always been supported of that. I've done loads of volunteering over the past and helping people. So yeah, that's what I really want to do.
How important is it for you to get paid for the work that you do?
Very important, because I don't get paid, when I do voluntary work. So I think it's really important that people get something, not nothing, as long as they get something. And you feel so achieved and all that, and you feel pleased with yourself that you've done something.
So what Cantraybridge College has done is created an environment for students to learn, gain skills, develop confidence and self-esteem that enables them to be ready for the world of work, and in that role of peer advisor, advise other people with learning disabilities, autistic spectrum disorder and/or mental ill health to be ready for that world of work and be confident to become an employee and share their experiences and their knowledge for the good of others in the future. As they very eloquently put it in a poem that they created about being a peer advisor, it means a lot to them to do this role because they've got the t-shirt, they wear the hoodie every day of their lives, and they are living this life.
Jamie, how long have you been here now at Cantraybridge?
4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
And how have you been finding that?
Yeah, good. You
Yeah.
know, I love this place so much. Like feeding the animals and like working in children's bit, working in gardening. And of course being down at Borton as well with my friends and just coping so well, and it's a good place for like visitors to, you know, coming to see this place, and the cafe's open as well for visitors. And
Do you think you've changed since you've come here?
definitely,
During your
yeah.
time at the college?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Big change in me. Big. I know if I move on, I know what I'm doing, and it's just because before I didn't know what this college was all about. I didn't know they have woodwork. I didn't know they have gardening. I didn't know if they have like animals. I didn't know until I came here. But my like 2 months trial and 5-day trial, I thought to myself, right, I'm in it, you know, I'm that kind of person.
Did you think that helped, coming to see the place and then to get a little bit,
Yeah,
get a bit of experience and just see how things were?
Yeah.
Did that make a difference for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of difference. The best part was for me is this bit. This
The
bit was the
animals.
best bit ever.
This is your favourite, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been here a while. I don't know what we'd do without you here, actually.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said to friends and staff as well. What you do without me, I don't know.
No, I don't know what we'd do without you. I don't know
No.
what the animals would do without you.
No, but I just love the staff and students here, and it's just, you know,
It's a happy place, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous. We now pronounce Cantry Park Cafe open.
We're also looking at developing our social enterprise. That's the cafe, where young people who have completed their college training will move into employment, paid employment. And it's that paid bit of employment that's really important, because when I get up and go to work each day, I gain satisfaction from knowing that I'm making a difference to students, to staff, to our community. But I also get paid, and it can be quite easy to overlook that if you have the expectations of you have been that you'll just join the labour market like everybody else once you've left school or college or university or so on. And that's not the case for young people with learning disabilities. One of the things that saddens and angers me both in equal measure is that the expectations of people with learning disabilities are so low that they're not seen as being just like everybody else. We all want a home, we all want a job, we all want friends and family and significant others. And really, when you strip it all back, that's all it's about.
The students get referred to me when they're getting ready to move on from the college. They come into my 10-week work skills programme, and that is basically to help the students learn about the sort of things to prepare them for the workplace. So things like interview skills, preparing a CV, and looking at the sort of type of work that they think they might be interested in. Well, this gives them the confidence to go on and do what they want to do once they're leaving college. And that's very important, and it's important to get it right and make that transaction as easy as possible for the student. The employers are actually really surprised at how well they do. They've had a lot of input here from the college. They work really hard and they're very dedicated. And employers are so impressed at the commitment and the high standard of work that our students put in.
We have a number of young people living at Cantraybridge at the moment, and for some of them it's the first time they've stayed away from home, and it can be quite daunting for them. So we have a great deal of support staff there to help them, and that can be a variety of ways. There's basic cleaning, cooking, some of the things they've never done before, budgeting, looking after their finances and looking after their personal hygiene. All of these very basic things a lot of our students haven't really had to think about, so we support them in that way. And there's also in the evenings and at weekends, we organise a lot of activities for the students, and they benefit by socialising with other people, with their peers and others, going out and about, sometimes in some challenging situations that they've not done before, and they learn about life, the good, the bad and the ugly, and we support them through that. What a fantastic social bunch they are. Any excuse for a party. We've had 21st birthday parties, other birthday parties, and they absolutely love it and making the most of it, just like any other youngster of their age. Another thing we encourage is for the students to cook for other people, and they take a real pride in what they do. And for a lot of them, they take such a pride in their home. It's their little button bin and they absolutely love it. And they take great pride in showing people around. And it's wonderful to see that and to be able to support them to do that.
Although we do a number of college-related activities here, so farming or horticulture, in some ways, the subject is almost neither here nor there, because it's really the means or the mechanism to engage people in what they like doing, what they're good at doing, and to build up their own sense of self and their own self-confidence, their self-esteem. And as I was saying earlier, the low expectations that society has of young people or children with learning disabilities do impact on their view of themselves. So a lot of what we do is trying to build that person up again after perhaps society has given them quite a few knocks. And it's very subtle. It's perhaps the glance or the a glance if somebody looks a little bit different, or it's asking someone quite directly, do you have a carer, or these kind of things. Which all suggest to the person that you need a carer, you can't achieve very much for yourself. So for me, the most satisfying, the most rewarding and exciting part of what we do is seeing a young person come to Cantraybridge who feels understandably anxious, nervous, worried about something new, and then they meet their peers and they find people that they like, but they also find people that they don't like. And isn't that brilliant, where you don't have to just suck up the peers that you're given because you provide basically Service X and it runs Monday to Friday and you must go there because that's where everybody with a learning disability goes. There's loads of kids or young people at Cantraybridge who have people that they really like and form really tight and lasting friendships with, people who've moved on and still come back to visit us. If you look at the low expectations that society has, they come from a place where there's a very strong belief that to add value to the world, it must be a monetary value. You must be able to earn your own income and your own salary. One of the most depressing things about hearing that is that young people can also contribute economically. So the first point is that people write them off, but understanding how people do add value, and economic value in particular, I think is important. I guess the second point is that society, community, the world is not just about economics, and there are plenty of willing and or deserving causes around, and Cantraybridge is just one of a number of those. But if we didn't exist, then we are consigning young people with learning disabilities to either forcing to adapt to the mainstream, which isn't really good for their well-being, nor for those that are trying to support them, and we're consigning them to a life of that, or basically to be left behind, to be left at home, you know, to be miserable because you don't know what's out there, you have few peers, you perhaps stay at home longer than would be expected. And that to me is a mark of a healthy society where you can understand the value that people add, not just in a monetary sense, but they illuminate the best of humanity from other people. There's something about mixing it up for people, learning from another person's perspective. And you don't have to have a learning disability, you don't have to not have a learning disability to be able to learn the value of, I guess, walking in someone else's shoes or seeing something from that different perspective. I would argue that economic value can also be created by young people with learning disabilities and autism, but also there's something about how we as a society support young people who are just a little bit different from the mainstream in terms of the support that they need, but really they're no different to anybody else, because as I said earlier, we all want a home to call our own, we want a significant other, and we want a job, and that makes us all the same in my eyes.